Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Today we're looking at a brand new card that's coming out of Phantom Rage. It's called Penguin Heroes. It's a Water Aqua level 6 Synchro monster with 2400 attack and 1200 defense, and it requires 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. You can only use each of the first and third effects of this card's name once per turn. 1. If this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon one penguin monster from your deck in face down defense position. 2. Your opponent cannot target set monsters you control with card effects. And 3. When your opponent activates a monster effect, as a quick effect, you can change one set water monster you control to face up defense position. So this card is meant to really help with the penguin archetype, and is kind of, even though it's generic for the materials needed, it really is meant just for the penguin archetype, and I'm actually glad to see that they're receiving more support. Being instantly able to special summon one of your penguin monsters in face down defense position is brilliant, because you can actually summon a couple of things which have return your opponent's monsters to the hand effects. You have initially Nightmare Penguin, which is a 1800 defense body, or you can go with something which is weaker in stats but actually better in effect, where you've got a Penguin Soldier. It has, I think, 500 defense points, something like that, and when it's flipped face up, it returns 2 monsters to your opponent's hand. Obviously, if this is facing against extra deck monsters, they go back to the extra deck. Which means that you're getting even more advantage because your opponent's wasted however much in terms of resources just to trigger that effect. The opponent being unable to target set monsters with card effects is also brilliant. Most of your penguin monsters will have trigger-based effects based on being once they've been set. So actually preventing your opponent from responding to that through anything other than monster attacks means it helps to protect how the deck likes to interact, and the ability to use its third effect as a quick effect means that you can respond flexibly to your opponent. The downside is that it only triggers when your opponent activates a monster effect. If they're aware of what this card does, or just even reads the card, they're not going to really trigger any effects. Instead, probably what they're going to do is they're going to try and target this monster and then go for your other cards as a way of breaking down the penguin archetype. What do you think of this card? Personally, from my point of view, it's definitely needed. They don't have really any, I would say, power-based cards. They have this, and they have, I think it's the Emperor Penguin, which is a 1800 attack monster. And the only nearest thing they have to as a normal summon monster is, I think it's No Penguin, which was 1600 attack. I think in the future they do need to be introducing some larger monsters to the archetype. I know it kind of defeats the purpose in that, the whole point is to have these flip effect monsters that can return your opponent's cards to the hand, and actually No Penguin, instead of returning it to the hand, banishes the monster. So there's that, how that interacts. But I would at least like to see some decent stat monsters, say 1700, 1800, something like that, which are level 4 monsters, just to add to the consistency. Whatever you think, leave your comments down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe.